Hello and welcome to your show. I'm your host, Ernis Lee. So sit back and relax. Again, you might want to get that pen and paper and take notes about all the great things that are going on at Pitt Community College. As well as you know, we're into November. And again, as always, we want to definitely mention what we still have those late start classes, which I think we're getting close to the last session. But remember, all your late start classes are just like the classes that you have that starts in August or September. You will retrieve all the information for the class. You just get a later start if something has happened to you that you could not start on time the semester. Remember, we do have all the late start classes, which you will pick up the same information. So we definitely want to keep that in mind. And at this time, I also want to make sure that you know in West Greenville, starting early January, mid-January, we will be having classes over at the IGCC Center. Trade classes will start. We're going to be advertising that probably within the next couple of weeks. We're going to be doing the training over there for electrical, heating and air, and hopefully automotive. So those of you who are interested, that will be coming out within the next couple of weeks. So look for that. There is scholarship money available for those of you who want to get into these trade classes. Lots of jobs out there. We just got to make sure that you train for them. So we have a great show for you today. And as always, you know, there's so much going on at Pitt Community College, but anything that you need to know about, please let us know. Let us know how we can help you. But today, we do have a guest today, Dr. Karrie Dixon of, say it together with me, the Elizabeth City State University. Okay, that's the only way we say it down here, okay? Right. Everybody understand there's something going on with me also when we say that, and that's Viking pride.
That's
okay?
right.
So welcome, Dr. Dixon, to the show.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. We are hearing so many great things that are going on down at Elizabeth City. I'm just elated to get you on the show just to talk about a few of the things, because I know you probably could sit here and talk all day. We're getting a lot of news clips, emails, and everything else with things that are happening at Elizabeth City State University. So in general, we just want to say thank you for being on the show. And again, as we know, we have a collaboration with you also, Pitt Community College, and you know, we're just elated about that. But we want to talk to you a little bit about Elizabeth City and the students. And yeah, I know that you're like Pitt Community College. As I always tell people, we never shut down. We never shut down, so we never had to reopen. So we're just still going. And I noticed the same thing with Elizabeth City State, and the students are there. So tell us a little bit about what's going on and what happened to you guys, and how did you guys go through this pandemic so far?
Sure. First of all, thank you for having me on the show again. I greatly appreciate that. And anytime I can talk about the Elizabeth City State University, you know, I'm ready to do so. But so this has been
absolutely
presidential time for all of us. And if there's any time to test leadership, it's definitely now during this pandemic. And so we were, as you know, approaching the start of the pandemic the week before our spring break. So one benefit for that for us was the fact that our students went on spring break, which gave our faculty and our staff a week to transition to online instruction. So unlike other universities who had to do it very quickly within 2 days, we actually had a week. And it was great that we had that week, because we were really unsure, because all of this was an experience that no one anticipated. So it's almost like you have to go forward, trial and error, to make sure you're doing the right thing. And so that week afforded us great opportunity to test out our technology, to make sure our faculty were comfortable with transitioning to online learning. And just we were prepared from that standpoint as our students came back after spring break virtually. And so all summer, we worked very diligently on campus to prepare for welcoming our students back in the fall. And as you said, Mr. Lee, we never closed. We never closed. We just moved operations online. We moved staff to teleworking. So we did all that over the summer to prepare to welcome our students back to campus in August, the first week of August. So a lot of things had to change. We had to change our approach to bringing our students back. We had to bring them back over a week's time instead of a weekend, which we were typically accustomed to. And we had to make sure that our parents and our students and faculty and staff were well informed. So we had virtual town hall meetings over the summer. We had Chancellor communiques that went out quite frequently over the summer. And I started out by telling our campus community that we are building a culture of expectation. And a culture of expectation is really focused on keeping each other accountable for doing the right thing during this pandemic so that we minimize the spread of COVID-19. So setting that expectation early, I think, was really key to welcoming our students back, and we are still in session. We've had very little numbers of active COVID cases on campus, and the ones that we did have on campus, we made sure to put those students in isolation in quarantine rooms we had identified over the summer on our campus that we identified as quarantine isolation space. And so we've been doing a great job. I owe a great deal of recognition to my Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, Dr. Gary Brown, and his team, because they too made sure that staff were in place to support our students, to keep them encouraged and engaged, even though most of it was virtual engagement and activities. But, you know, we had to just approach this a little differently to make sure that our students were going to remain successful in the classroom, outside the classroom, but more importantly, just making sure that they were doing what needed to be done, wearing their mask, washing their hands, social distancing, all those things that the CDC recommended that we do to minimize the spread of COVID. So we have 2 weeks left of class, and I'm excited that we've made it this far and we've been able to continue in-person instruction because everyone bought into this culture of expectation and holding each other accountable.
Well, now I would love to ask the question this morning on what contributed to what I've been seeing the trend down there as far as your enrollment. We see that their numbers are going up down there, and you know, we know why, because you're there, but you know, what contributed to that, and what would you tell students who are trying to make up their mind about going to college, and with everything going on, it's a hard decision to make whether you're going to go or be online, and I know students are down there. What would you tell students right now about what's going on at Elizabeth City State, because everything is going up?
Yes, and you see this big smile on my face. I mean, whenever you talk about something that I am very excited about. This is my third admission cycle here at ECSU as Chancellor, and every year we have grown. But what really stood out is during the pandemic, we grew 13% in enrollment. That was significant.
Wow.
This increase in enrollment across the UNC system. And we just blew it out the water. I think there are a lot of things that attributed to that. The fact that we are an NC Promise campus, the North Carolina legislature identified us as one of 3 NC Promise campuses where we have access to an affordable education, and at $500 tuition per semester for in-state students and $2,500 tuition for out-of-state students per semester. And so I think that was a big contributor. Also, our approach to recruitment has been different. We are sending our faculty out to recruit to our community college partners. Our community college transfers grew 28%. And so that's huge. I think people are seeing the value in the education that they will acquire from ECSU. And with our community college partners, I actually went out and visited all of them in person, met with the presidents, met with their cabinets, met with you, Dr. Lee, at Pitt Community College. And it was a great opportunity to build relationships with our community college partners. And one thing that we are clear about is that we are not trying to recruit community college students before they obtain their degree. We want them, after they obtain their associate's degree at community college, we want them to come to ECSU to continue towards their bachelor's degree. So why that's so important is because we see that community college students who complete their associate's degree first actually do outstanding compared to our native juniors when they transfer to a senior institution their junior year. And so that's why that relationship with our community colleges are so important for a seamless transition from those who start at the community college, complete the associates, and then desire to complete their bachelor's degree. So we are excited about that partnership. So we were strategic with our faculty and recruitment. We were strategic with working with our alumni from across the state as well as beyond across the country to recruit students, to tell them about the great things happening at ECSU. And so with all of that coming together, I think really impacted our enrollment this year. And I expect that it will continue to grow because people are seeing the excitement around ECSU and what we're offering. The campus is absolutely beautiful. They're able to see the campus virtually, and also we're welcoming people to come on campus as they feel safe, wearing their mask to see
Right.
on campus as well, from the standpoint of beautifying the campus and making the campus look great. So we're excited about this enrollment. We're extra excited about the fact that what did mostly to our enrollment is the fact that our students stayed. Over 75% of our students who were here last year came back, and that was significant. And so we are retaining our students, and that is definitely a big piece of our enrollment and its increase that we're seeing, and we're going to see more of that.
Well, I just want to real quick go. I know you discussed this a few minutes ago, but the enrollment and you're still doing student housing and things of that nature. So the students are there on campus because,
Yes.
you know, you have a lot of parents asking questions and students are trying to figure this out, but things are going well there on campus for the students actually staying there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We still have students on campus. They've been here since the first week of August. They will start exams the week of November 22nd, and they will leave campus on November 24th and not come back to campus until mid-January. So they'll have a long extended winter break, but that gives us an opportunity to go in and do a deep cleaning of all of our academic and residential buildings on campus so that we're prepared to welcome them back in January. But yes, our students are still here and they are doing an excellent job in holding each other accountable. And as I mentioned, we have had some positive COVID cases on campus. We've isolated those students, those who wanted to remain on campus, and others have decided to go back home, but we left that between them and their family. But those who wanted to remain on campus were in isolation for 14 days before they were able to join the campus community again. And so we've been able to contain and minimize the spread of COVID by doing these things that we put in place as part of our culture of expectation on our campus.
Well, Dr. Dixon, we certainly appreciate all the great work that you're doing down there at the Elizabeth City State University. And we just say keep up the great work. And we're certainly glad you by a little bit, give us a little bit of your time this morning and tell us about the great things that are going on at Elizabeth City State University. And I want to ask you in the same breath, will you come back and talk with us again real soon?
Of course I will. You know, when I saw your name on my calendar, I got excited because I love this and you as a host, and thank you for being an awesome alum. And we are all so proud of the Elizabeth City State University. Viking pride.
Absolutely. Viking pride. There you have it, guys. The Chancellor of Elizabeth City State University, Dr. Karrie Dixon. Please pass on the great things that are going on at Elizabeth City State University, the community college system that is connected to the university, and make sure that you put the word out that great things are going on down there. And again, get connected. And for anything that you need from Pitt Community College, please give us a call. We are there for you, as well as the Elizabeth City State University, Dr. Karrie Dixon. Thanks again for your time. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you. I've enjoyed it. Thank you.
Have a great day. And for all of you, we'll see you next week with a brand new show.